Chacun se retrouve face à face.
Welcome to the French department at Ohio University. The department is housed in Gordy Hall, located on Park Place at the top of Morton Hill. Most French classes are held on the second floor, where the French bulletin board is also located. Here you can find information about all things French at OU. Many of the professors' offices are also located on the second floor, including Dr. Toner's.
Called Teaching French Theory and Practice. This is a course designed for people who are interested in teaching, and it's a course that I like very much. I'm very interested in how people learn languages, why there are certain problems in teaching. I also teach an undergraduate culture course, and again, this is a course that I enjoy very much. It centers on France, from the Revolution to the present day, so it's a lot of ground to cover. Students are generally interested in the language and also in what's happening in the country. Often these are students who want to spend some time in the country or who have spent time in the country and are interested in French culture, or trying to explain to themselves the differences that they noticed in French culture and our own culture. I like the fact, and this I have grown to see more and more, each of us in the French section here is very concerned about good teaching. I also like the fact that we offer courses on Francophone literature so that we are expending, and I think this is only logical, more and more, a higher percentage of those who speak French are in Francophone countries, and we are able to serve those interests as well. Okay, it wasn't a traditional entry into French or to teaching. My first love was music. I was a pianist, and in fact I was giving concerts with a cellist, classical music chamber concerts in Germany, and continuing to study. When I had the opportunity to go to France, I had a scholarship to study piano there. So I went to Paris and was studying piano. It opened my eyes to all sorts of possibilities. I started being interested in things that I hadn't even suspected existed before. And it was just an astonishingly positive experience for me being in France. And I hadn't had very much background in French. I had had minimal French. So I took language courses at the Alliance Française. So I'm an adult learner. I think I'm proof that it can be done if you start as an adult. It's a lot easier if you start younger learning the language. But I think love of the language can do a lot and can help you move forward. And I think that was the case for me. So when I finally was not able to play piano, I went back to the States, and I had enjoyed the courses at the Alliance Française so much that I started taking at the university. That led me to a scholarship to grad school, and as they say, the rest is history.
Dr. Rodina is also a French professor at OU. You can usually find her in her office, but she is currently spending the summer elsewhere.
I teach mainly upper level courses, third year conversation and composition, introduction to literature, and some graduate courses as well. One of the things that I love most about French is the grammar. I'm not afraid to admit it. I like grammar, especially French grammar with its wild combination of rules and exceptions to those rules. Once students reach third year, they're able to really appreciate the complexities of the language. I've been at OU for 25 years, and I think one of the reasons I've stayed is because of the students. and because of the emphasis that the university places on teaching. We have small classes in French. I get to know my students very well. And in many cases, we keep in touch after they graduate, and that's special. My own interest in French, I think, stems from two things. I went through the public school system in Ontario in the late 60s and 70s when a lot of effort was being put into bilingualism. So I had many, many opportunities to travel to Quebec. And then in high school, I had this amazing French teacher who helped me land an au pair job in France. And this was in the southeast of France, in Provence, with a family who was restoring a 15th century farmhouse. And that sealed the deal. I fell in love. I fell in love with the French people and the language and the culture. And I enjoy sharing that with my students at OU. I do have a favorite quote from Flaubert, a 19th century author. Pour qu'une chose soit intéressante, il suffit de la regarder longtemps.
Many students, such as Megan Helgeson, study French literature at the graduate level while working as a teacher's assistant for the lower level French classes.
I teach the French 100 level classes, French 1110 and 1120, and they go over elementary grammar and vocab and culture. The OU French department is really great. The professors and the TAs that work here, everyone knows each other. It's really closely knit, so I think it's very easy to work with each other because we know each other so well. I became interested in French mainly because I was interested in the French culture. I started taking French in high school, and the languages I could choose from were either Spanish or French, and I was more intrigued by the French culture than Spanish culture. My favorite French word is des ananas, pineapple.
There are many opportunities to learn about and practice French outside of class. French Club is an organization open to all students interested in French that meets once every week. The meetings are held in English, so everyone is welcome regardless of their French level. Activities include movie nights, French Club dinner, games, and other social events. For those interested in practicing speaking French, French Conversation Hour is held once a week. The group gets together to talk in French about anything and everything.
Chacun se retrouve face à face.